Let's talk about the Colion Noir situation. I'm going to play a quick video. I'm going to add some commentary to it.
Alec Baldwin, the actor, has been indicted in New Mexico on 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter stemming from the shooting deaths on the Rust movie set.
I'm not really one to wish harm on anyone, and I don't applaud the fact that he has to go through this or that he's being charged with this, even though he can come across as an arrogant prick sometimes. But I don't wish this on anyone. And part of that reason is because this could be anyone. When we talk about this Alec Baldwin situation, it's easy to kind of make fun of him and poke fun at the situation and say, ha, 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 this is what you get. This could easily happen to them. Even if it is unloaded, you don't point the gun at anyone. But he didn't know this because he was too blinded by his ideology of hatred of the Second Amendment versus understanding the Second Amendment, understanding firearms, and keeping himself out of the situation. What can also happen on the other end is sometimes we can become rather complacent with firearms. And it happens, especially if you're used to dealing with them over a long period of time. Just like that, you could find yourself in a situation where you didn't intend to hurt anybody, you didn't do anything consciously wrong per se, but because of your actions, you are now looking at spending up to 5 to 10 years in prison, just like that. So that's why I think it's important that in this particular Alec Baldwin situation, if this case does go to trial, I think honestly it should be publicized to the world. I think it should be live. I think there should be cameras in there, and people should hear every aspect in detail about what happened as a way to demonstrate and to expand on the idea of firearm safety. Because I don't want this to happen to anyone. I wouldn't want this to happen to Alec Baldwin. I don't want this to happen to any people that are watching this video. I don't want this to happen to any of my family, my friends, and any of my followers. I don't want it to happen to anyone.
To me, when I hear that, I hear a few different things. I'm like, okay, he feels, I don't know if he necessarily feels bad for Alec, but I think he's worried that this is kind of like going to become a thing. And later on in the video, he does reference an NBA player who kind of something similar happened where he shot his like taxi driver or something like that. So you guys should definitely go watch the full video. But just right off the bat, did anything stick out from that video? Should there have been an expectation that he would have even known how to do it? Like,
No. Why would there be an expectation on a movie set for somebody to have firearm safety? No firearm safety. Now, do I think everybody should know it? Yeah, I think firearm safety and the fundamentals should be in every school, and it should be just as paramount as sex education. Your children will encounter it, and it's going to be important that you make sure that they know how to deal with it. You make sure they deal with life and not just things that you agree with. However, I don't have an expectation for a Hollywood star to know the firearm safety rules unless they're in that type of environment. If they were in a gun range and they're fiddling around with a gun and they picked it up and they would have had the expectation of actually having live ammo, then yeah, probably. But I mean, I'm a firearm dealer, so I have the same licensing, the same contracts with the federal government that the armor does. And we have a certain responsibility. We have insurances we have to carry. Just like he said, the set should never been hot. I mean, the set was hot. He is an actor, and I would never have expected him to know the difference, which is why there was a required armor there. There's somebody who was paid to be there to prevent that.
Yeah, I unfortunately, even though we like to joke and meme and make fun of Alec Baldwin for being an idiot, and here's I guess suppose what kind of confused me when all the news sources who know nothing about guns, right? Guys on Fox, guys on CNN, they really have no formal firearms education. At least it seems apparent because of the words that they use and the conclusions that they come to. Who they were like, oh, he should have known better, and oh, this and this and that, and who's to blame? And first of all,
a lot of people didn't even know what an armor was, nor their responsibility to the set. I mean,
yes.
That's a dealer who's responsible for the guns. No difference in a gun show. If I go to a gun show and I pick up a gun, I point it and I pull the trigger because I want to feel the trigger and the damn gun shoots, who's to blame? Not me. The idiot who put the gun on the table loaded, because I didn't know, right? Everybody's picking them up. Are they checking them? No. But when people are in the gun store, it's just like if you go to sportsmen, right? Sportsmen are turners or any gun store. You have a certain expectation. Now, should you go ahead and double check for us who are professionals? Those are our habits because
Yeah.
we encounter so many firearms with our students. We do weapons checks and everything to make sure that we go home safe. So those are part of our habits and our lifestyle. But for an average Joe, is that they're going to be their habits? No, when they go into these environments, they have a right to have a certain expectation, especially if you have an armor on the set.
Mm-hmm. Now we actually had one of our members is watching live with us and mentioned that during SHOT Show and different trade shows, the firing pins are removed from the gun, so you can
Mhm.
confidently point the guns in different directions. So
I know
that's
dealers who have a whole line with no pins that are just for this.
and it's crazy that he really had the situation where he's points a gun on a movie set where it should have been either a blank or nothing at all, and it goes off.